Hi everyone, Fenris Models here, and today we're going to take a look at what all comes in the box of Tamiya's Douglas A-1H Skyraider in 1/48 scale. Now, I do apologize. It was not my intention to get you two unboxing videos in a row. I was wanting to get out the F-15 Eagles build video out. However, I've come down with a cold, and I'm running out of time to get it all edited. It's about 60-75% or so done, so next week that'll come out, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, we can go ahead and we can crack open this box here, and how about we see what comes in the box. So as you can see, we have 7 sprues worth of plastic. We have 2 decal sheets and our instruction book. So let's go ahead and start with the instructions as we usually do. And now these instructions are kind of the way that Tamiya likes to do, where it folds outward. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this. I'd rather it be like a full book as opposed to like a fold out, just because it takes up so much space. But yeah, what are you gonna do? So we do have here on the front page, we have information on the Skyraider in a couple different languages, followed by our caution, read before assembly, and our paint call out here. There's a number of colors. Looks like there's some AS and TS, which are both Tamiya spray colors, but you can usually find them, find pretty close corollaries with their X and XF range, their acrylic range, so which is what I'm going to use. Well, I'm probably not going to use that. I'm actually probably going to use Vallejo, but yeah, you know what I mean. I'm not going to be using spray paints, is my point. And then we move on to the cockpit assembly along with the pilot. So it does look like it comes with a pilot, which we sandwich together, and then get our engine assembled. After assembly, get it attached to the fuselage along with our landing gear. And it does look like it assumes you're going to be doing it with landing gear down, so we'll see what kind of modifications it's going to need to do it up in landing gear up position. And we have our wings and attaching them to the fuselage, along with installing those landing gear flaps. And I'm sorry, now is when we installed it. This was building the landing gear. This is installing the landing gear. And then we have the dive brake, along with the arrestor hook, and putting all the remaining accoutrement on, along with building our munitions. And it's interesting to me, if you notice, there's actually polycaps that go inside each of the munitions. There is a baggie full of polycaps. I don't know that I've ever seen this many polycaps in an aircraft kit before. Because you got what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 in there. So 2, 4, 6. I guess if you're building 2 of each, and then installing said munitions. So my assumption is they might have been doing it so that way you can like put it on and take it off, I guess. There you go. There's some for the rockets as well. Although it's interesting, we have the attaching them and then the building of them. I think we all have enough common sense to build before attaching, but it's just interesting, the orientation there. I don't know why they wouldn't have just, put this at the top and swapped everything around, but. And then finally we have the paint scheme. And it looks like we only have the one for this, the VA-176 Thunderbolts. Which does make this interesting because, as you can see, these are general Tamiya decals. You can feel them; they're pretty well raised. They're pretty thick, as Tamiya's want to do, but they're not bad. Very clear printing, nice color alignment. But I don't understand why they have 2 with 2 scheme, because it says A there and B there, and there's only the single scheme in the instructions. Okay, so as it turns out, there was a hidden sheet in the box. So we have the this one right here, and I think these are actually more of your shared stencils. And then we have this right here, the again VA 176 Thunderbolts, and then VA 25 and VA 52. So there are actually 3 schemes in the set. Yeah, there are actually 3 schemes in the set. They just, for whatever reason, printed up one on a sheet separate. And it got tucked away in the box and I didn't see it, so there you go. And then as I showed earlier, we have our 12 polycaps here. And then starting with the big sprue, we have Sprue A, which has our fuselage halves on, which, see, it's a pretty sizable. Some pretty good detail on it, but it's not super deep. It's relatively I don't want to say shallow, but it's, I don't know. It somehow seems nice and detailed and also lacking of detail at the same time, I guess. Let's see if I can get, the light just doesn't want to, hold on. There we go. I had to drop the exposure on the virtual camera there to get it to actually pick up those little bits of detail, but so you see what I mean. But anyway, with the fuselage, we have the ventral dive brake, the pilot, and the cockpit, which has some pretty good detailed bits all molded in there, along with the side brakes. And then we have 2 Sprue E's. We're just going to take a look at one of them, which seems to primarily be our munitions. We have our fuel tank there, our pylons, our horizontal stabilizers, a landing gear, and all of the rockets, bombs, etc. So it's nice that it comes with a lot of options. And I mean, that's one thing about the Skyraider, right? Like it's a very mean looking plane, so it's nice that it has all of the different munitions you can put on there. So we have the bottom of the fuselage here. You can see all that detail. No flash, everything is nice and crisp, which again, that's what you kind of expect from Tamiya. We have our upper surfaces of our wings and another drop tank. And then finally the relatively simple engine cowling and propeller. Last but not least is the clear plastic, which that's pretty dang clear. Let's see if I can actually get it in focus. There we go. So it looks like we have, what was that, 5 parts. We have the sights, some light covers, front canopy, back canopy. And there we go, the Douglas A-1H Skyraider from Tamiya in 1/48 scale. I admittedly don't know a whole lot about Skyraiders. I found this at my local hobby shop. At the same time I got the Catalina, actually, that I released a video on a couple weeks back. So I got this at the same time. It was on sale, and it's just a mean looking plane. I don't know a lot about it, but it, you know, I really like it. I know that it's a propeller-driven plane in a time when jet aircraft are doing most of, or starting to come into their own and starting to do most of the heavy lifting. So it has a very interesting use case, I guess. But yeah, I am very much looking forward to building this. I think this is going to be a very fun kit. The shade of gray with the black there is going to be very different than what I currently have on display in my office. So I'm very much looking forward to building this, and I'm looking forward to displaying it because I think it's going to be a really nice piece. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the what all comes in here. Does this look like a kit that you yourself might pick up at some point? Definitely let me know. And if you've already built it, make sure to let me know below if there's anything I need to be looking out for, or if it built well for you, or just anything of note. Make sure to drop a comment below on that. Either way, remember, stay safe and keep modeling. Thank you, Cali Bear, and all of my starter set patrons. Your support is invaluable and keeps this channel going.